Thank you everyone for joining. Um, so as always, I'll be recording these sessions and we'll put it on our YouTube channel, and then I can send the link after the session in case you want to rewatch it or share it with anybody. So today we are going to be talking about our second premium Power Automate Flow template offering. The first one we showcased was in November, and it's pretty similar to this one where it would take Microsoft forms that were submitted and create documents from them. So you could actually use the Microsoft form as your entire intake, and then it would create a PDF from that. This one is similar, but it's actually creating documents from a database, your data source, and in this case, it's an Excel table. So it could be pretty useful for things like creating offer letters, contracts, anything where you can use the same template document and kind of just plug in information from a data table for specific people. So this flow in Power Automate connects Microsoft Excel with SharePoint, Microsoft Word, and Adobe because the final form will be a PDF. So just a quick intro to premium connectors in Power Automate. Premium connectors require the Flow's owner to have a Power Automate premium license subscription. So there's an extra cost to that usually. And until now, this has been one of the biggest barriers to creating Power Automate flows for some people that want to use these connectors. But recently, all UTM DWS team members, and that's our team, have been provided a Power Automate premium license subscription. So this will allow for UTM staff and faculty to have access to premium connectors without having to purchase a premium license for themselves, because we can actually host these premium flows for UTM staff and faculty. The benefits are, of course, it's cost effective because you don't have to purchase a premium license and you get the functionality of using the premium connectors. It's secure and managed. Our team ensures that all flows are maintained within the university's security standards. Enhanced support, and then since we are hosting these flows and sharing them with the people that will be using them, you can receive hands-on support with setup, troubleshooting, and continuous management of the flow. With Premium Flow hosting, our team will help you create and manage your flows that include premium connectors, enabling powerful integrations and capabilities beyond standard connectors. We'll host and share these flows, ensuring they are secure, efficient, and optimized for your specific tasks. Additionally, we are offering new ready-made premium flow templates like the one we're showing today. The first premium flow template we demonstrated automates the process of creating documents from Microsoft Forms, converting responses into a Word or PDF document. So that was like I was talking about in November, we showed that one off. And this one here, similarly, the second premium flow template we will demonstrate also automates the process of creating documents, but from a different source, automatically inputting data from a table into preset fields within a document template. So combine a document template document with a data source to create personalized messages for multiple recipients. Generate customized letters, invoices, contracts, or labels in bulk, then convert to PDF and save on your SharePoint site automatically. So it saves time, reduce errors, and ensure consistent formatting. Microsoft Excel is just one example of a commonly used data source that Power Automate can connect to. We've decided to use Excel as the data source for this flow template because it is probably the most commonly used at UTM. But this could be changed to another data source, provided that it has a supported connector for Power Automate, like SharePoint lists would work great with this, Dataverse tables, and so on. So what our new premium flow template can do is take your data source, collect all the data from each of the row cells, and insert the cell's data into a predetermined location. So we call it a tag inside the document. So basically you create a template with tags, a document template, and match it with the Excel's table columns so that each cell is inserted into the corresponding tag. So step one, and I'll show you all the uh, things that you need for the flow to work, and then we'll go through like a demo of the flow. But the first thing you do is create a table with all of your data in Excel. Each row will be a new document or recipient of the document, and each column will be a field of data to be entered into the document. The Excel file must be saved on a cloud storage location like SharePoint or OneDrive for Power Automate to be able to find the document. So if you just save it on your local drive, it won't work. You'll need to save it onto a cloud storage. Step two is we'll set up our document template. So the next thing you need to do is create a Word document, also saved on a cloud storage location, to be used as a template for all the documents to be created from the Excel table. In the document, we will add tags in places where we want to dynamically enter the data from the Excel table. So this could be for things like names, address fields, dates, or dollar amounts, or any other personal information specific to an individual. And step three, once those are all set, that's when we set up the flow to connect to each data source and to find the document template to plug the fields in. So once you have your data table and your document template saved and ready, it is time to set up the flow. We will simply select the files to be used, the Excel and Word files, and then match the columns with the data table to the tags in the document template. So kind of in that screenshot there, that's basically all you're doing. You're kind of just matching the tag with the column name in the Excel. So the way that we do it with the tags is we name them the same as the column in the Excel, so it's like really easy to match them together. So when the flow runs, it will create a document for each row in the table and fill in the tags in each document with the column values for each corresponding row. And this is kind of just a visual of the workflow. Creates the data source, you create all the data, create the document template, trigger the flow, and then it inputs the data into the tags, creates a document, and saves it automatically on SharePoint. Great. So let's run through everything. So for the demo here, I've saved everything onto our SharePoint site, and I just made some folders here in the document library. You can have it in your documents or anything, but I created a new document library here. So I have my data source table here, which is basically just my Excel sheet. And I just made a table in my Excel, so all the data is in this one table. Just named it table one. So all you would do is just insert a table and then name it, or keep this default name, I think is just table one. And then here is what the flow is going to be looking in, is all the columns for all the data. And each row here will be like a new document that I'll be generating because I'll have one per person. And that's it. And then you could add more fields as you want, but I just have some basic fields to plug into the document here. First name, last name, address, and an email. So I'll use the email here to actually kind of do a mail merge as well with this flow template. So we can send the document to each of these people straight from here as well. So it's like a little added functionality as well. And then I also have my document template. So this is the Word file with all the tags. So I kind of just made like a acceptance letter here. And then this is what I mean by the tags. So they each have kind of names here. And the way that we add them is in the desktop app of Microsoft Word. You need to have the developer tab, and that's something you can add in under I think in the options, customize ribbon here. And then you could just add the developer tab to your ribbon. And then once you have it, you'll have this option here to add plain text content control. And once you click this in here, it just adds one of the tags. And then with it selected, you go to properties and then you can name it. I usually name the title and the tag. And that's it. And then you put one of these every spot that you want to have the data entered, basically. So at the top here, I have the dates that the mail was sent out. Like I will send each of these and it'll just be a dynamic date of the day, the person's full name and their email address. And then here I have kind of like a message, email message. So I can put their first name here, and then plugging in anything in here, like maybe a field that they answered or question that they asked or something. Here I have their address, and that's basically it. So this will be my template. And then I created another folder here. It's an empty folder called Created Documents. So this is where once the flow completes, it'll save all of the PDF documents in here for me. This is customizable. You can have it go wherever you want, but by default, that's basically what the flow will do. It'll create it in this new folder. So that's all you need kind of to set up everything. Close that, and then we're in the flow itself. So I can walk through all the steps in the flow. This is the trigger. So this trigger for the flow is set to schedule at a specific time. So you could have it run, if you just want it to run once, you can run it and then turn it off. But right now it's a recurrence. And this can be customized to be anything you want, but um, I can show you how it works when we test it as well. But this is kind of, if you wanted to have it run a specific date, you could just put it in here, like a weekly or a day, a specific day, and then put the time in here, and the minutes, and then it'll run at that time. So here is where the next step is, and it will, what it does is it will just list all the rows in your data table. So it's basically just going to collect all the data in your Excel file for the rest of the flow to be able to use. So once, if you were to request this flow template, we would work with you to just basically, all you have to do is select your SharePoint site here, and then the document library that the file is in. And basically we're just pointing to the file and the table that you're looking in inside the file. So it has to be in a table in your Excel because that's where it's going to be looking. And then all this other stuff that's in purple here, this kind of, you probably won't need to touch any of this when you receive the flow itself. Yeah, I think these were two optional fields here, but the part that we will need to change is this populate a Microsoft Word template connector. And so this is the premium connector, these two Word connectors. These are what makes this actually a premium flow. So you need a premium Power Automate license to be able to use these. And what they do basically is you're locating the document template, which is the Microsoft Word file. So you just pick the file here, and then once you have it selected, this will come down and populate, and it'll show you all the tags that you have. So these are the tags that I've created for the document, and I can see they're already named. And so I'll just clear these so you can kind of see how it works. So if I'm looking for the fields in my Excel file that I want to plug into that tag, which is this one that's kind of here, it's an interest. You have expressed an interest in. So that's a field that the person has filled out, and it's in this column here called interest. So in my flow, all I have to do to match this is kind of search through the dynamic content, where it has basically found all the data in my data source, which is the Excel connector. So it's going to actually show me all my column names here. So I know that I named it the same, interest. So all I have to do is just kind of scroll through and select it. But you can even, to make it easier, if you just want to search, you can search for interest basically. And I just click it, and that's it. The Excel column is matched with the tag now. Same as this one. If I want to match the province, search province, it'll find it, click it, and that's it. It's added. This field, date of mailing, this is a formula that we've added into here, so you don't need to change this. Basically, all it's going to do is take the time that the flow was triggered and then put it in this format, month, day, year, and then put that into the cell on here. So it's kind of the sent date basically here, and also in the document template, it puts it up here. So the person will receive it on their document, and it'll be saved on SharePoint with that date. And then the rest was basically the same. I just went through matching all of the column names with the tag names that I want them to be. And that's pretty much that's how the document gets populated, and it's pretty simple. It's easy, just like matching and clicking on what you want it to match. And then we have here, so once it populates the Word template, it's going to create a new Word document for each row. So here is where it creates a populated Word document. And the only thing here needed to be changed, well, again, it'll just be selecting the location that you want to save the file. So here it's a SharePoint, but you could change this for like a OneDrive if you wanted as well. I think it's the same functionality of the OneDrive connector. But you're just picking your SharePoint site, you're picking the folder path where you want it to be saved. And then by default, the name of the file that gets saved is the full name, which is this. So the person's full name dash the date and time, basically the same that was up here. And then it creates it as a Word document. And then here for the file content, it just takes the populated file that you set up here with all the fields populated, and then it puts it in into the document. And this is a step for later here that we use. So once it creates the Word file populated, we're going to just have this step to actually pull information from the Word file so that we can use in later steps. So again, all you have to do is just pick the site address and the document library where it was saved in here. And then this step here is where we convert the Word file into a PDF. So this is optional if you wanted the final format to be a PDF. If all you wanted was a Word document, then you would probably be able to stop right here, kind of at that point. But we have this is also a premium functionality. It's converts a Word to a PDF. We have it in here because most people would probably want it to be a PDF so that it's kind of locked for editing. But yeah, so that would be something you could decide if you wanted to receive this flow template. And again, all you're doing is selecting the save location, the document library in SharePoint where I'm saving the PDF. And then here's basically what Word document you're converting into a PDF. So I'm just selecting the file location of this file that I made up here, basically. So it's the same as this. And then once it converts it to PDF, again, we're doing basically the same thing that this one did, but we're just creating it as a PDF. So these steps are pretty much the same. Except here where it's taking the file content, it's taking it from the PDF rather than this one where it's taking the Word. Yeah. So once it creates the PDF version, again, we're going to get the PDF files properties. And we're basically, all we're going to do is these steps, which are also kind of optional. This is where I was saying it's going to send an email with the file attached to each person that the document has been generated for. So this is basically just a mail merge from the Excel document where it's going to pick the email field as the to. This is all customizable. This is just basically what I made for the demo. Um, you can set the subject of the email, you can set a message in here, and then you can as well plug in fields from the data source into the email. So if I wanted to add the person's address or anything, I can just add that stuff in here like this. And it'll go into the body of the email basically. And then here is where it actually attaches the file. So that's where we did this part here, get the file properties and the content of the PDF so that we can actually take that and attach it to the email. So that's what this step does. It will send an email from a shared mailbox. You can also send it from yourself if you don't have a shared mailbox, but ours will come from a shared mailbox and it'll go, each person will receive the document. And this is also an optional step. All this does is delete the Word version of the documents, this part up here, because all you probably really want is one PDF of the file that you create, the document. So we don't need the Word file anymore. So we just delete that part off of the SharePoint. Again, if you wanted to keep both, you can keep both as well. And then here, all it's doing on the last step, the very last step here, in the data source, I am going to just update that the email was sent with the document attached. So I'll delete that and then I'll show you that it populates afterwards. And it's just kind of like a tracking. And if you had a status column or something that you wanted, like that said sent or anything, you could also have it update any of these columns to anything else that you wanted to update on the data source itself. So that's the flow, and I can run it to show you how it works. So we will pretend like it is this day that we set in here. And if I just hit the test button and manually test it, it'll also run the flow. So I'll just close that, and then each document should be created in here as a PDF, and I can show you at least two of the email addresses that it will be received, because I have one sent to myself and another to this shared mailbox. So let's run it. Okay. Run flow. Done. And when I'm running the test mode, I can actually see a status, kind of like a live status of the flows run. So I know what step it's at. Running. I don't know usually how long it takes, maybe a minute or so. Oh, I already received the email. Oh, there we go. 36 seconds, so pretty quick. So if I go to my SharePoint site, I'll refresh it. I'll be able to see now that I have 4 files and they're all named by the person's name. And I'll just open the Excel as well just to match them up. So I had 4 rows. Each person here was got a document created for them. And if I open one up, I can see that, you see the original, it has these tags here. And then the filled in one has the actual, my name, email address, first name here, The interest, which was this one here, premium hosted flows. The address got filled in and everything looks good. It's all the same font and everything. And that's customizable too. You could change the fonts if you wanted and highlight it if you needed. And then I can see that in the email here, the email sent properly and the file is attached here. And if I open it up, it should match what's saved on SharePoint. Yeah. So basically just a document merge and a mail merge together. Uh, Pretty easy, pretty useful. Just yeah, the only caveat with this one is it is a premium flow, so it would be one that we would host for you. So what we would do is, if you wanted this premium flow template, um, we would just basically create a copy of this template and then share it with you. So we would be a co-owner of the flow with you, basically. Um, so you could run it and edit it as much as you want. It would be running off of our premium license. So this little diamond here, because this connector here, you wouldn't be able to connect to the Word Online connector because it's premium. Yeah, but everything else, so we've tested this with a bunch of people that actually have premium flows that we're running with them, and everything works great. Everyone's happy with them. So, yeah. Any questions about this, or that's kind of it for, I know it's kind of short, the actual flow itself. It's simple, but it's pretty useful, I think. Yeah, any questions, Anna?
Hi, Dennis, thank you very much for this presentation and introduction for this flow. Um, First, I want to say that I love the flows that I'm already using, and I'm very
Awesome.
grateful to you and the team, and big shout out to everyone for making this happen for us. My questions regarding this specific presentation. So, in the situation, for example, where we have uh, HR offer letters. So,
Hmm.
um, is it possible to have a branching kind of situation? Because some offers are going to be for people who are brand new to university, some are for extensions, renewals kind of situation, and some are for the change, when there is a change in compensation or duties or something, and the new letter needs to be generated.
Hmm.
So, is there an option to utilize the branching within this flow, or three separate flows need to be created and three separate sources, data sources need to be maintained?
Um,
What would you recommend?
so for this flow, if you're like for the same document, I would just like wonder how you would determine. I guess I would say, yeah, if you had a field in here that could differentiate between the people in your data source, like if it was a new person or something that would differentiate them to change the offer letter that they received.
Yes,
What I would do is in here put a condition to, let's see.
to pick the appropriate letter
Exactly.
for that
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
Okay.
So if the column, let's say, is let me see, I'll just pick this one for now. So let's say if it was equal to new user or something like that. If yes, then I would put this in here. And then if no, then I could basically, all you would do is just have your different documents inside of which condition that you want. And you could keep this all the same. You could basically just copy this to the clipboard. And let's say if no, I can copy from clipboard this whole uh, trail of cannot read get ID. Let me see if I put this one here. Yeah, that one works. But yeah, basically it would just be copying in here and then whatever document that you want on that side, you could just, instead of using this template, you would use that template and then match the columns essentially. That's how it would do the branching basically, is from a condition just you would need something to determine it, and probably the best place would be in your data table here.
Data source. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the second question would be, sometimes when the uh, Word is populated, Word document is
Hmm.
populated with the person's data. It would be very nice if at that point we can have a chance to review the layout of that letter, because sometimes just a page break needs to be moved around a little bit, or something needs to be adjusted before it gets converted to PDF, and before it gets attached as an email attachment to that custom email
Hmm.
that you're sending. Is that possible?
I mean, I would definitely test it beforehand so that you can just, I would like how I'm doing. I set my own email and stuff. Maybe I would just before anything just set it
Yes,
to
but
be a test.
this would be case by case. Like every
Hmm.
single letter would need to be, because the description of duties would vary from person to person, and that takes page
Okay.
space.
Yeah.
So every time a Word document specific to a person or offer is generated,
Yeah.
at that point I would like to be able to go in, review, and if everything looks good, let's resume with the
Yeah.
second part of the flow.
So then I would, in that case, I would just maybe make a copy of this flow as like a test flow, and then remove this part where it sends them the offer, and maybe even remove the PDF if you didn't want to create the PDF, or you could, and then just have it run it without. So for each person that you wanted to run it for, I would run it without sending them the offer itself, so then you can review the documents, and then once you're happy with it, like how the document looks, so you edit it, and then I would just run the production version, basically. Like I would have a test version and a production version.
Okay.
um
Okay.
that's probably how I would handle it. Otherwise, yeah, because this part here sends it out right away, so you would probably want to remove that if you were going to um, test it. But like the test version actually creates the document, so it's not like it doesn't create like a fake version for you to edit it beforehand. So that's why I would probably make just two versions of the flow. Um, yeah, I hope that helps answer. Just off the top of my
Yes.
head, that's what I could think of. I mean, we could probably work with other options if you needed, but
Thank you. It makes sense. Thank you
yeah,
very much.
okay, no problem. Nicole?
I have, I think, a few questions. Okay, so there was this like this event that I've been working on, and the previous like email thing they sent out, they wanted me to follow that same template. So I just copied and pasted the exact thing and then changed like the wording and stuff.
Hmm.
But it had a specific template, like it had like a box surrounding the whole like email, and then like there was like a separate box for like the images and like stuff like that. And I did ask them, like, how did they even create that, since all I did was just copy and paste. And
Hmm.
when I tried to put it into a Word file, it completely just went like wonky. And they
Hmm.
said they use something called MailChimp, which I've never heard of.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
I'm wondering, is this kind of similar,
Yeah.
like to that?
I mean, I think Mailchimp will do a mail merge basically, and that's kind of what this is.
Okay.
I think that's basically what it is. Where it has the boxes around it that will kind of input from the data source. I haven't used Mailchimp. I don't know if Atri maybe if you have, but I'm assuming that's just a basic mail merge. That so if you copy and paste it, it probably won't copy over the tags exactly.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 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 I think for I think I know what are you, Nicole, are you from psychology?
Technically, yes.
Okay, okay, cool. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. I think they have like a nice looking template, that newsletter thing that they sent out, and it's built using Mailchimp, and it's nice because it's got like the borders and all that ready to go.
Yeah.
So for that, it's just a graphic design tool
Okay.
that you would use to first design it, and then once it's designed, you can just copy paste the HTML and you can add it into the body of the email that would be sent out. Um,
Okay.
That's basically it. I think Canva is a good one for that. Free Canva can help you create some yeah, right there. See, yeah, that's sharing screen right there. So what you do is you create the design first, using whichever tool of your choice, and then copy and paste the HTML of that design over here, and then
Yeah.
you're good to go.
Instead of in text mode, you would be in like the code mode, so that when you paste the
Okay.
code, it would actually show the HTML in the email that gets sent out.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So wouldn't
Yeah.
it be like so with this premium like flow template, is it only like Word and PDF documents it sends out?
So this is actually not even a premium functionality. This is just part of the flow. So you can
Okay.
make a flow yourself with just the send an email. And we actually have another flow template, which is just a mail merge. And I can show you that one as well. It's one of the first ones we made actually a while ago, but this is one of them. But basically, yeah, this one here. So, and this one's not premium, so we could just share this one or send you a copy of this one, and you can run it on your own. But yeah, all you would need to do basically, if you had that HTML code, all you just put it in this mode here, and then you just copy it in, and then it'll basically take the same basic formula as the one that I just showed. It takes all the fields in here, and it'll just email to these people with whatever you plug in to the body here.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but
Thank
in
you.
terms of the premium flow, the only one like this one it'll email, and it'll also create the PDF document as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a two things that it does.
Okay. Thank you. That makes sense.
No worries. Any other questions?
I would also just add that you can also use Microsoft Sway to help you make newsletters as well.
Is that on our apps here?
Yeah, we're licensed for Microsoft
Nice.
Sway. Yeah, a lot of people just don't use it.
Sway, sway, sway. I'll take your word for it.
Oh yeah, tough to find. It's hard to find. Hard to find.
And we actually, I think we have another flow that does basically like a newsletter as well too through Power Automate. Um, I think it's the one that you made for psychology actually. But if nobody has any questions, I just want to reiterate that we have this Teams channel here, where if you actually have any questions afterwards, you can go to the quick help section here and just start a post, add a question. We also have all these FAQ guides and previous recordings of our workshops here, which I'll be posting the one today. It'll be workshop number 9. It'll be right here. And it goes to our YouTube channel, which we made specifically for our workshop. So it's an unlisted YouTube channel,
So
but today we're yeah. And comments are off and stuff, but that's where you can find all of our recordings. And if you are not in here, just shoot me a message or create a ticket, and I can add you to the Teams group. So you post any announcements and updates to Power Automate in here as well. So it's a good place to like stay informed. And if you wanted to receive this flow template that we showed today, or any other flow template, all you need to do is head over to your ticket creation, and just once you create a ticket, a help ticket here, just put in the description Power Automate, and then whatever else that you wanted to put. If you want to help with setting up your own flow, or if you want access to one of our flow templates, just put that in here. And then once the service desk sees Power Automate in here, they send the ticket right over to our team, DWS, and then we can help you from there, basically. Yeah, that's kind of all I had to share. Thank you, Anna, for your kind words. If nobody else has anything else, I think we can end it here, and hope everybody has a great weekend. Stay inside. It's supposed to be really cold tomorrow, I think. So.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. Have a great weekend. Bye.